Huh? You think you could back it off? You drove 7290, huh? Alright, Jared's gonna back it off in there. He's gotta run it sideways just a little bit so that he can run one of the tires over the front hooks on there. Just so he doesn't cut the inside sidewall. The front tires are set out wide on this. So he won't really have to worry about them rubbing at all. Hey, put that door up, Kerr. We're gonna set the front wheels. We're gonna narrow them up. For 30-inch cornrows, the rear wheels are set. We're gonna leave them alone. Alright, so we're gonna run in and get set up on this. Alright, we're finally inside here. We got the 8310 off the trailer. We're gonna change the front wheel width for 30-inch cornrows. We went and got silage trucks out here earlier this morning, and James and Joe are working on tires here now. They found out that that tool, this I don't know what the heck is it called. What the heck is it called?
The Blue Cobra.
The Blue Cobra. Yeah, there we go. This tool will not work on Dayton wheels, so James is a little disappointed. So
yeah, I was ready to rock and roll here.
Yeah, James was ready to rock and roll. So we've got new tires that are going on this. These are getting down there a little bit, and we're just gonna start going through all the silage trucks here, get them ready for doing first cutting. So this is the first one that we're starting with. So we're gonna get on to getting this 8310 ready to go now. Like I said, we've got to do the front wheels. We've got to set them in, and we've got to put the receiver up on top of the cab. We've got a Starfire 6000 that I'm going to put right there. And then I've got a bar that goes between the front and the rear post that I can put my 2630 display on. And yeah, so we're gonna get on with it here. All right, we're getting ready to set these wheels. Now in the book there's a fancy chart here, and on this next page here there's all the different tire sizes. Let's see if I can zoom in at all. Maybe can't quite zoom in. There's all the different tire sizes here right in the book. So these are what's on this tractor is a 420 85 R34. So the first number in this chart, we're going to go with a 64-inch tread. That's what the back is roughly running. It's going to work with 30-inch rows because the tire's narrow enough anyway. So we're running a 420 85 R34. First number is a 8-position rim, and then the second, which is a letter, is the position B, which is on this other page here. This is the 16 position rim here, and then we have an 8 position page here. So we want this we want to go with this setting here, which is dish in, rim in, and then we want to be on the mounting tab. There's 2 mounting tabs on these rims. There's a step right there, which I gotta zoom in. Yeah. Alright, there's a step here, like that, and then a step there. So what we have to do, we have to take the tire off, unbolt the dish, turn the dish around, or turn the, pop the dish out of the back side of the rim, and then actually we need to put this tire on that side over there. Yeah, we need to put this tire has to go on that other side. So we have to take the dish and switch it around. So we can't just take this tire and put it over there and bolt it on. We have to take the dish apart as well. This actually, if we dismounted the tire, we would be turning this around and it would be bolting so that this divot here is on the inside. So we're gonna get these unbolted and get it set up so that we can get after it here. So, yeah, okay.
Just put tires on the front of this.
Alright, we're gonna unbolt the dishes. We've got to move the dish to the other side of the rim. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Get the dishes moved around, and then we're gonna end up swapping tire for tire. So this tire is gonna go on the other side because the wide part of the dish has to be, oh, what the heck does that have to be? In. You can see it right there. So that's got to be in. The bolt plate that's on the rim has to be to the outside. So this tire is going to be, this is going to be the outside of the other way. And this dish essentially has to be just flipped over. So. Alright, so we gotta flip this guy over. Alright, so let's gather all our bolts. You know what? Why don't we just leave it like that? See if we can set that in the rim. Be easier to put together, you know? Can we do it that way? Got all the bolts loosened up on the wheel that came off the left side. It's going to go on the right side now. Now he's tightening the bolts up on the dish where the dish bolts to the rim. Because of the way that the tire is mounted on this rim, we have to switch sides. straight on, bud.
I do.
Hold it straight on. This 18-volt Milwaukee impact is a little too much power for him. Get right on there. Hold it, stay right straight with it. Alright, we're just gonna rinse and repeat for this other wheel. We've got this front left wheel is set at the same spacing that the back is. So Jared's just putting the rest of the studs in this left side. We've got to get the fender on the left side. We've got to remove the fender from the right side yet, and swap the dish around on the tire that came off the left that's going to go on the right. See, what they were is valve stem in, dish was out. We're swapping things around, valve stem out now, and dish in, and so on. So we'll just do the same thing on the other side. Alright, we've taken our fender brackets off, and we have to flip them over, flip them around, and use a different position on the cast bracket pieces. Jared's retapping the holes, he's cleaning the threads out on his bracket, and Andrew is tightening up the one on his side. We're going to mount in these holes here now, and it was mounted in these ones. We're in here on the left-hand side now, and Andrew's tightening up the bracket that's on this side. So this bracket would have been turned around the other way when this wheel was out, therefore allowing the fender to be out in the outer position. So he's getting these tight here. I'll go in and retorque them a little bit. Then we can set the fender right on.
I've got them tight enough.
You got them tight enough?
Yeah.
You think so? He says he's got them tight enough. I'm just going to have to believe him. Gotta go up a little bit with that one, buddy. Okay. Grab them studs, will ya? You got one of them punches, Andrew? Grab that punch off the floor there, will ya?
I was trying to get
There we go.
the big one or the little one?
I got it. It's all lined up.
We've got a bend.
She's in there. All right, we're all set. We've got one thing left to do to this. What do we got to do to this yet? Andrew? What do we have left to do to this yet? Steering what? The steering stops. All right, so we got to adjust the steering stops on this, and then we'll be all set there, and then I'm going to mount my stuff up in the cab, and that's going to do it for this project here. The boys are getting tires on truck 8 here. Kerr's getting right after it here, and Joe and James. We got James hiding on the other side. He's been playing with a torque wrench here for a little while now. Well, he's getting right after it. Oh, they played an evil trick on you, didn't they, James? They didn't tighten these far enough with the impact, did they?
No.
That's that's no good. Oh boy, did you get the back one already?
No, I just started on
You just started that one. You know what though? The one thing that's good about the Dayton wheels, instead of 10 studs, you only got 6 per wheel.
True.
You got that much less. You only got 24 instead of 40 to do. Look at it that way. All right, carry on. All right, we're gonna adjust our steering stops. I don't even know what the heck size that is. 1 3/16 maybe. Get that jam knot. Okay, that's about as far as we want to turn it. Now I'm going to let him turn that wheel out and loosen up that bolt. All this is a bolt that comes up against the casting. Actually, I'm going to loosen up this one on this side first. There it is, right there. Right here. I got to loosen up that jam nut, spin that bolt out, and then that stop comes against here. All right, this thing is basically ready to go. Obviously we narrowed up the front end. We flopped the wheels around, repositioned the dishes on the rims so that we get the wheels narrowed up. We're running at 62 inches, 62 or 64. Should have been at 60. But the rear is at 62 or 64, so we're matching the rear because we figured as long as the rear was as close as it was, it didn't need to be monkeyed with. So the front end's been repositioned. We've got the steering stops where we want them, where they need to be, and we've got the fenders mounted correctly. Now, I've got everything up in this tractor except for the 2630 display. I ended up taking this crossbar that runs between the front and the rear corner post. I took that out of the 7290 because I didn't know if this tractor was going to have it, and luckily enough it's the same cab. And that bar went in there. So I'm going to mount my display right there. And the only thing I don't have in here that I had on the 7290 is the CB radio, and I had that mounted right there. So I ended up having to send out the 2630 display for repairs, and I just got that back here the other day. So I'm gonna mount my RAM mount to the back of the display. I'll show you how. I'm gonna pull this out of the box, and then I'll show you after I get this all mounted how I have that on there. Here's the box that it came in. Ag Express did the work on the display, so we're gonna have to mount that face down on the bench here. But it's got a whole new screen in it. Something happened to the actual display itself. The touch screen display, so they had to put a new one in it, and it has been serviced, and of course it's got a tag on here right there, that sticker. If you remove that sticker, it voids the warranty, because they do not want you to get into these displays at all. Now the other thing, the other problem that we had with this, in this display, when we put it in the chopper last year, there's a machine plug receptacle and a receptacle here for video. The chopper has cameras on it that plug into the display, and the plugs that were in this display, they were actually 2 machine plugs, so we could not plug in the video port plug into the back of this display. So they have this this changed. It had about the same, well, it had the exact same amount of pins, just the slides were different. The slides on the machine port have 3 grooves. You can barely see them in there, and yeah, you can't see them in there. And the camera or video groove has only got 2. So I'm going to mount this RAM mount to the back of the display like that. Once I get that on there, I'll show you what it looks like up in the cab, because I have an extended wire plug that goes from the corner post to plug into the display. I end up running my display up into the ceiling, and I can actually run that display closer to me, and I'm not all the time leaning over. So let's get this mounting bracket on there. This mounting bracket is the same bracket that I need to use when I take this display out and use it in the chopper. That's got a RAM mount assembly that's actually got a rail, a different style rail than what's in this tractor here that runs between the front and the rear post. It's actually on a slide, and they're using this RAM mount assembly as well. So rather than changing brackets on the back of the display all the time, I built a bracket up in the tractor cab to accept this display just like this, and it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier moving it back and forth. You just loosen up this clamp here, and you could take the whole display right out, leave the ball mount right in the tractor, and you're good to go. So we're going to get this mounted. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, we're up in the cab now. Now here is the extended harness that I bought. This harness hooks to the corner post, and it actually goes between the corner post and the harness that plugs into the back of the 2630 display. Now on most of the get in here. Most of the John Deere tractors, everybody's mounting their display from a bracket that is on the front right corner post. You plug the harness, which is this harness here. Let me grab that. This harness here into the display, into the corner post, and then this is the plug that plugs into the back of the display there. Now I need about 5 hands here, and if you have this plugged in to the corner post, which we can do that, I guess. Get this camera lined up so that it's visible here. So if you had the cable into the corner post like that, and you had this plugged into the back of the display here like this, you're kind of limited to where you can put that display. You can't mount it any higher than that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can we see that? Yeah. So that's got the standard length harness, and you can't mount that display any higher than that. It doesn't allow you to see your gauges at all. So it doesn't matter where you have this display, here, here, you know, over here, you're reaching for it. So with that extended harness, it allows you to have the display up higher. Now, you want to run this camera? All right. Step back a little bit, okay? You got it right in? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to unplug this. Junior's running the camera. We're going to unplug this harness. I'm going to mount the clamp right here. Get that. Keep the camera straight now, bud. Going to mount the clamp on the. There's a mount that I have here on the bar, and I can. This bar has got a slot in it that you can. Anything you mount to it, you can adjust. You can slide back and forth. So I'm just gonna get that mounted on the display, the clamp, get that held in place. Now these are the 1.5 inch size ram mount balls. So there's that. I've got this harness. I'm gonna plug this in the back of the display. I gotta make sure I get the machine plug, which is the top one. Plug that into there like that. And now here is the extended harness. Here is the extended harness here. You got that in view, bud? Here is the extended harness here. I just mount that on the one end of the machine or the display plug. Mount that like that. Then I plug this into the corner post, and now we are good to go. I've got to get a zip tie. You know, I can put this up there like that. Put this back around there or something. Get this zip tied, you know, out of the way. So I've got the wire, the extended harness plugged into there. It's running up through, and the machine plug is coming into the back of the display. Now, that display is right there. I can actually run it closer to me if I wanted to. I could slide this bracket back on this rail, which I'm going to show you the bottom side. The bottom side of this rail, you can slide your mounts and then just re-tighten them down. So we'll just fire up this display and just turn the key. Just turn the key on now. Now the 2630 display is coming online here. I don't have, I've actually got to put all of our data into this display. In other words, our fields and any prescriptions that I end up putting in for planting corn. This display here has section control on it, and it has auto steer on it. We're running auto steer from the 2630 display, not the armrest display. So once this display fires up, I'll come back to you here. Alright, the display is fired up and it's online now. So with the display mounted where it is here now, it makes things a lot easier as far as accessibility. Accessibility is like right here. Bang. You can get right to the display very easily. It's too far away if you're reaching for it down here. And the highest that you're going to be able to get this display is right here. And that's going to be about the closest you're going to get the display is right like that. And you're going to have to, I always found myself leaning forward to get to the display. It's just so much better right up here. And you can keep one eye on that very easily. And you know, your line of sight is right at that height anyway. So anybody that's looking for this extended cable, I bought it. I actually bought it on eBay. So alright, so with that being said, folks, that's going to do it for this video of screwing around with this tractor today. Again, I don't know how long the 7290 is going to be tied up for, but we're going to be ready to to plant here next week with this tractor anyway. So
Next
what do you
week?
think? Yeah, next week. So we had some snow here today, spitting snow and whatever. It was kind of miserable.
It's not too cold anymore.
We spent a few hours outside here working this morning, putting a manure pump in the lagoon and everything else. So it was kind of nice to work inside on this today. And the boys got tires on truck 8. They've got about half the fluids checked and whatever. And they've got to do some more to that truck to get it ready. And yeah. Where do you think we should park this? Huh?
We should park it down by the corn planter.
You want to park it all the way down there? We park it all the way down there, we're going to have to walk all the way back up here. You know that?
We could park it over there in the grass.
I say we park it right by the chisel plow.
There's not enough room there.
There's not enough room there?
Nobody's going to be able to get to it.
No, you're right. Ah, where should we park it, huh?
We can park it down there by the monk.
I'm going to park this tractor for tonight. Obviously, we have everything done to it. It's ready to go. On the corn planter, we've got the display in there and all that happy jazz. They're actually going to park it near the corn planter. I'm not going to hook it up to it. Just park over there alongside the disc. So there's the corn planter there. We'll hook this up sometime next week. We got quite a bit of rain.
Park it right there.
Overnight, so that's gonna do it for us. So there you go, bub. That's good. There, we're good to go, huh?